dare to venture down Bizarre Boulevard, a realm of mysterious creatures and strange occurrences that defies the boundaries of reality. No matter which path you choose, remember that all roads eventually lead to this chilling and enigmatic destination. The Ratman Chronicles, Episode 4. As Mary and Detective Winkfield prepared to begin the ritual, the darkness surrounding them seemed to take on a life of its own, pulsating with an ominous energy that sent shivers down their spines. They arranged the items they had collected in a small circle on the cold, damp floor of the Red Line platform. The herbs, the relic from Deucible's past, and the vial of their own blood. "We need to be strong," Detective Winkfield said, his voice barely audible over the howling wind that echoed through the tunnel. "No matter what happens, we can't let the Ratman's presence break our focus." Mary nodded, her heart pounding in her chest. "I'm ready," she whispered, her voice trembling with both fear and determination. They joined hands, their fingers intertwining as they began to recite the ancient words that would set Nathaniel Deucible's spirit free. The air around them crackled with energy, as if the very fabric of reality was responding to their incantation. As the ritual progressed, the darkness seemed to grow even more oppressive, coiling around them like a living, breathing entity. The distant cries of those who had suffered at the hands of the Ratman filled their ears, a chilling reminder of the evil that had haunted the city for centuries. "We mustn't falter," Detective Winkfield urged, his eyes locked on Mary's as they continued to chant. "We're almost there." But even as they spoke the words that would break the curse, they could feel the sinister presence of the Ratman watching them, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. They knew that they were on the brink of a confrontation that would determine not only their own fates, but the fate of the city itself. With their voices rising in unison, Mary and Detective Winkfield fought to maintain their focus, to push through the overwhelming darkness that threatened to consume them. And as the ritual reached its climax, the air around them seemed to tremble, a sign that the battle for the soul of Nathaniel Deucible was about to begin. The moment the final word of the ritual left their lips, the platform began to tremble violently. The darkness that had been pressing in on them suddenly exploded outward, revealing the monstrous form of the Ratman as it materialized before them. Its beady eyes, filled with hatred and rage, bore into Mary and Detective Winkfield. The creature's matted fur bristled, and its monstrous claws scraped against the concrete, sending shivers down their spines. "You dare try to break my curse?" the Ratman hissed, its voice a chilling blend of human and animalistic tones. "You cannot save this city from the darkness I've woven. We're going to end your reign of terror," Mary shouted, her voice trembling but resolute. "Your time is over." With a blood-curdling roar, the Ratman lunged at them, its claws slashing through the air. Detective Winkfield managed to dodge the attack, pulling Mary out of harm's way. They scrambled to their feet, their hearts pounding as they faced the horrifying creature. "You cannot defeat me!" the Ratman snarled, its eyes blazing with fury as it launched another attack. As they fought, Mary and Detective Winkfield struggled to maintain their focus on the ritual. They chanted the incantation, their voices rising above the chaos, even as they dodged the Ratman's relentless onslaught. "Your curse will be broken," Detective Winkfield yelled, as he delivered a powerful kick to the Ratman's side, sending it stumbling backward. The creature roared in pain, its fury growing with each passing moment. Its eyes locked onto Mary, and in that instant, she knew that it would stop at nothing to destroy them both. But as the battle raged on, Mary felt something deep within her awaken, a strength and determination that she never knew she possessed. She refused to let the Ratman's darkness consume her or the city she loved. "We will break your curse!" she screamed, her voice echoing through the tunnel. "You will never harm anyone again!" And as she shouted those words, a surge of energy rippled through the air, a sign that the ritual was nearing its end, and the confrontation with the Ratman was about to reach its climax. With the Ratman momentarily disoriented, Mary took a deep breath and focused on the spirit of Nathaniel Deucible. She felt an invisible thread connecting them through the darkness, a tether that allowed her to reach out to his tormented soul. "Nathaniel Deucible!" she called out, her voice steady despite her pounding heart. "We know the truth. We know the pain you've suffered and the injustices you've faced." The rat man's vicious snarl subsided, replaced by a look of confusion and curiosity. Its monstrous form seemed to waver, as if the connection Mary had forged was causing it to lose its grip on reality. "You were betrayed," Detective Winkfield added, his voice echoing through the tunnel. "Your land was stolen from you, and you were wronged. But this path of vengeance won't bring you peace. It only brings more suffering." For a brief moment, the rat man's eyes flickered with something that resembled human emotion. The creature's fury seemed to wane, and the darkness surrounding it began to recede. "Set yourself free, Nathaniel," Mary pleaded, her voice filled with empathy and understanding. "Release the darkness that binds you, and find the peace you've been searching for." The rat man hesitated, its monstrous form trembling as it struggled against the curse that had consumed it for so long. And as Mary and Detective Winkfield continued to chant the words of the ritual, they could feel the power of their incantation growing stronger, fueled by the truth they had unveiled. With a gut-wrenching scream, the rat man released a final surge of dark energy, as if expelling the centuries of pain and hatred that had fueled its existence. The creature's form began to unravel, the darkness dissipating as the spirit of Nathaniel Dusable finally found a measure of peace. As the darkness receded, Mary and Detective Winkfield felt a weight lifting from their shoulders. They knew they had succeeded in breaking the curse and exposing the tragic truth that had haunted the city for so long. But the battle was far from over, and they knew they had to remain vigilant as they moved towards the final confrontation. As the spirit of Nathaniel Dusable struggled to break free from the darkness, Mary and Detective Winkfield continued to recite the incantation, their voices ringing through the tunnel with determination. The air around them crackled with energy, and they could feel the curse beginning to weaken under the pressure of their combined efforts. "We're almost there," Detective Winkfield whispered, his eyes locked on the writhing form of the rat man as it slowly transformed back into Nathaniel Dusable. "We have to keep going." The darkness that had once consumed the platform began to recede, replaced by a faint ethereal light that seemed to emanate from Dusable's spirit. As the last vestiges of the curse unraveled, Mary and Detective Winkfield completed the ritual, their voices rising in a triumphant crescendo. With a final anguished cry, the curse shattered, releasing Nathaniel Dusable's spirit from the torment that had bound him for centuries. The monstrous form of the rat man dissipated, leaving behind only the faint, ghostly image of a man who had been wronged and betrayed. "We did it," Mary breathed, her voice barely audible as she stared at the spirit before them. "We broke the curse." Nathaniel Dusable looked at them with eyes filled with gratitude and relief. "Thank you," he whispered, his voice echoing through the tunnel like a distant memory. "You have given me the peace I never thought I would find." As they watched, Dusable's spirit began to fade, the ethereal light that surrounded him growing dimmer and dimmer until it disappeared completely. The darkness that had once haunted the Red Line was gone, replaced by a newfound sense of hope and renewal. Exhausted but victorious, Mary and Detective Winkfield leaned on each other for support, their hearts filled with a mixture of relief and sorrow. They had succeeded in breaking the curse and saving the city, but they knew the cost of their victory was high. As they made their way out of the tunnel, the horrors they had faced still fresh in their minds, they knew that their lives would never be the same. But they also knew that they had made a difference, and that the city of Chicago would no longer live in fear of the rat man's wrath. In the weeks that followed their harrowing confrontation with the rat man, Mary and Detective Winkfield found solace in knowing that they had put an end to the darkness that had plagued Chicago for so long. The story of Nathaniel Dusable's tragic past and their battle to break the curse became front-page news, casting a new light on the city's history and bringing closure to the many lives touched by the rat man's reign of terror. One evening, as they walked along the streets of Chicago, the city's vibrant lights shining around them, Mary couldn't help but reflect on everything they had been through. "Do you think Nathaniel has found peace?" she asked, her eyes filled with a mixture of hope and uncertainty. "I believe he has," Detective Winkfield replied, his voice firm but gentle. "We helped him break free from the darkness that consumed him, and now his spirit can finally rest." The memory of Marco, their fallen friend, still weighed heavily on their hearts. They knew that his sacrifice had played a crucial role in their victory, and they were determined to honor his memory by continuing to seek the truth in the shadows and protect the people of Chicago from the horrors that lurked beneath the surface. As they walked, the sound of laughter and music filled the air, a testament to the resilience and spirit of the city they loved. They knew that they had made a difference, and that their actions had brought redemption and resolution to a tale of darkness and despair. "I think we've made this city a better place," Mary said, a small smile playing on her lips. "I couldn't agree more," Detective Winkfield replied, his eyes meeting hers, "and we'll continue to do so, together." Hand in hand, they walked through the streets of Chicago, their hearts filled with hope and determination. They knew that their journey was far from over, and that the darkness would always be waiting just beneath the surface. But they also knew that they had the strength and the courage to face whatever challenges lay ahead, and that they would never let the shadows of the past define their future.